Welcome to the Asclepion. I'm Kevin McKegg.
And I'm Luke Strom.
Our podcast dives into the deep questions of life. How do we find love, discover our true selves, and live out our dreams in this wild, weird world? We're going to take you on a journey of philosophical inquiry, spiritual adventure.
Okay. Just imagine you're like sitting around a campfire with the homies and you all start opening up and talking about real shit. That's pretty much what we're going to do here.
Yeah, or it's what I said.
Okay, look, all you need to know is that we have no idea what we're doing.
Welcome
to the Asclepion.
Asclepion.
That's what I said. Okay, this is Architecting Your Future, Part 2. In this one, we're going to get a little deep, a little weird. We're going to talk about manifesting. How do you actually feel into the vibe and experience of who you want to be and what you want to do? What does it feel like to win a Nobel Prize in physics? What does it feel like to be an amazing unicycler? I don't know. You're going to have to think about that yourself. But first, we have to hear the gripping tale of Kevin on a nude beach in Hawaii.
So I was tanning nude on a beach with my girlfriend, and this guy came around the corner, was talking to her like, "Hey, what is this place? Can I talk to your man? Because out of respect, I don't want to talk to you. I want to talk to your man." I look back. She points at me. This guy is huge. He's built like a shed. He's probably got like 30 or 40 pounds on me, and he looks psychotic. And he's walking towards me, and I'm lying there completely naked. I stand up. He gets in my face. We're faced off. I'm completely naked. He's like, out of respect, I wanted to talk to you. And I was like, oh? What is this place? It's a nude beach. No, it's not. Yes, it is. And his eyes just got super crazy. Like, he looked like Jason Momoa a little bit, except with like Clint Eastwood's eyes, and Clint Eastwood does that thing with his eyes. Mm-hmm. Shocked blue. He was like, "You guys need to leave right now." And I said, "No, we're not leaving." And he goes, "Should I go get my strap?" Which means gun. And I was like, "Oh, you're going to kill me." Like, why is that? And he goes, "This is forbidden by Pele. You're too close to the keiki." Bunch of words I didn't understand. No, you need to leave. And by this time, people on the beach had started to notice that there were these two guys just facing off. And this girl yells out, "Just kiss already." Which was hilarious. We're literally like inches away, just staring each other down. I was like, "You need to turn around and walk away." And he looked furious, and he reached back and he just slammed me, hit me as hard as he could over the chest. He had a crushed can in his hand, so the impact was even greater because his fist didn't collapse, right? The force of the blow, this guy was big. The force of the blow knocked me like 2 or 3 foot back. And then I was so pumped on adrenaline that I got right back up in his face and kept staring him down. And he was so surprised by this, right? I'm like the nonviolent Buddhist guy, right? Like, I'll stand my ground. But, I practice Aikido, which is like this way of the peaceful sword shit in college. And okay, so I got back in his face, kept staring him down, and he was so surprised. He was like, "Oh, respect. My name's Josh. What's your name?" And he like reached out to shake my hand. And I was like, "I'm Kevin." He was like, "You need to leave." And I was like, "No, we're not leaving." "Well, you need to tell all these other people that they should leave." And he was all confused because he thought I was just going to roll over. And here I am just completely naked on a beach. Just got hit by this massive guy. The guy turned around and walked away. So that took place on a Hawaiian beach, right? Earlier this year, I had a dream that I was on a beach and I was being filmed by a presence of unconditional love. That was like the setup of the dream. I was like 13 or 14 in the dream. And this giant like winged bird with brown plumage circled around behind me and encompassed me in its wings, and then put its beak over the crown of my head and then started whispering in my left ear. And then bouquets of flowers started piling up in my arms as if from out of nowhere. And then the scene shifted and I embraced the camera. I said, I love you. And the dream ended. It was really powerful, man. So I want to just bookmark how dreams are often portents for future events because I did, in fact, travel to Maui after this dream happened. And I was having these beautiful experiences on the beach, including the one I just described, which sounds weird, but it felt like a kind of a test from the universe, a rite of passage, um, a moment where I recognized my inherent strength and value and refusal to back down from a conflict, even though it was dangerous and totally crazy. That was a huge gift. So, you talked about coming from your energetic core, getting in touch with your energetic core earlier. And I think when I study something like, say, the law of attraction, there's something about getting into the inherent energy or the emotion or the feeling tone of the thing that you want. It's easy to say, I want $1 million. And then all these voices come in and they go, yeah, right. Like, that's impossible. Where's it going to come from? Show me the money. Prove it. Right. I want $1 million. But if you can feel into the thing that you want, if you can feel what it's like to have that in your pocket, you start feeling what? You feel relief, gratitude, confidence, joy, sense of ease of being able to pursue what you want because now you have the freedom. Now you're living into the feeling tone, the energy of what the thing you want would give you, right? So the idea with something like law of attraction isn't just repeating things in your brain that you know you're never going to get. It's actually about like embodying the feeling tone of the thing you want and then letting that energetic core guide you towards or even magnetize and allow those things into your life. And it's very powerful, but there is a kind of shadow to it, right? Of I've met people, for example, who get a hold of these ideas and then they start thinking that when something goes wrong or something bad happens in their life, it's because they weren't practicing meditation enough. Or an extreme example would be like, oh, I got cancer and that's because of the law of attraction and God hates me and I'm not, practicing enough positive affirmations or something. So there's that thing where we kind of have this tendency to assume fault or blame about ourselves in the modern West. We have this kind of guilt complex, and that's a kind of shadow of the law of attraction that I've noticed. But there are like genuinely amazing things, namely because you don't have to wait to experience the positive emotion of the thing that you want when you get it. You can actually experience that now and feel the intense positive emotion of being full of love and happiness and joy, and actually start practicing the faith and confidence that that in and of itself will take you towards what you truly want. And how could it not? Because it's kind of like the feeling of is kind of the thing we're after. It's like $1 million, it's paper. Like, how's that going to make me feel when I have that in my pocket? Right? So there's something really golden about that as a mechanism. And so I wanted to share that. Any thoughts?
This is a really crazy idea, man. It's something that I continue to struggle with. In fact, I think it's my main demon in life, meaning I am continually dissatisfied by my progress towards my idea of success. I continually tell myself, you should be so much further than you are. You should have already written, directed, and released a huge Hollywood movie by now. You're already 31. Look at where Francis Ford Coppola was when he was your age. Like, ridiculous shit, right?
Yeah.
And yet I'm like, oh well, if you have the potential to do something great, like make a movie or whatever, then why haven't you done it already? Like, that doesn't make any sense. And yet I continue to feel bad about myself because I don't think it's like that quote that's like, the gap between where you are and where you want to be is the size of your unhappiness, right? Which I think that's kind of a negative perspective, actually. But that has been the recurring demon in my life. And that's why, even if you don't believe in manifestation and all that stuff, this idea of cultivating the feeling, the energy of success and feeling like validated, like, oh wow, I already have made these movies. I'm already able to provide for myself and my family with money from my art. That's an unbelievable accomplishment in my mind. That's what I want to do. That's like the least, even though that's a huge accomplishment, that's like the least I want to do is provide for my family comfortably, purely off of creative work, right? That feeling is like heavenly to me, and yet it's so elusive. And that's why I love this idea of saying, yo, stop being impatient. Stop telling yourself you're not there yet. You're not there yet. When is it going to happen? And instead just say, you know what? It's already there. All that actual tangible accomplishment, no one will ever know when that's going to come. Even Francis Ford Coppola had no fucking clue if or when that was going to happen. He was just doing his stuff. He was just working it hard, and he stuck to his dreams. He stuck to his guns, and it did happen for him. Eventually, I just that it's so cool because it just takes so much pressure off, and it says, yo, focus on the internal energy. Focus on cultivating that good vibe for yourself. Always, continually. That should always be side by side the work that you're putting in. So you're working hard towards your goals. You know what your goals are. But if you're constantly breaking your own back in the inside, thinking, oh, I don't know. This other person is doing more than me. It's just like, nah, man, that's not where it's at. It's not where it's at. And, maybe there's something to be said of just, maybe it's not even manifesting. Maybe it's just you being so confident that when these opportunities do open up for you, you're just like, bam, the snap of your fingers, no doubt. And your mind is already attuned to create as many opportunities as it can because it's at a higher wavelength of creativity and awareness. And maybe that's what it is. I sometimes have this thought of the universe or God or whatever knows when you're ready internally. Not, oh, you have these skills now. There's tons of skilled people who don't really use them to the maximum effect or impact. But when you're ready on the inside, then things start to really happen. And you're like blown away by how much success will come and how many doors will open that you didn't even fucking anticipate consciously. Crazy.
Yeah. When you follow your bliss, Joseph Campbell says, doors will appear where there were no doors before. And just to continue with that dream, it was prophetic. Like that dream, I imagine that the flowers piling up in my arms were like gifts that kept coming. And that's been my experience ever since that dream happened. Things are happening out of nowhere that I didn't anticipate that are truly gifts in my life. It's incredible how dreams like that can give you a taste, give you a vision for what is to come, and how you can cultivate these positive emotions and create the world you want to see, create the life you want to see, just by coming from a place of being filled up in your own heart, your own energetic core.
For sure. And that sort of ties back to what I said at the very beginning of this. Be very sure to not beat yourself up along the way. Don't think, oh man, I'm 40 years old and I haven't written anything. I haven't ever played music live, you know. I'm such a loser, such a pansy, you know. Don't do that. You gotta simultaneously flip the script inside you to something good. And it's hard, man. It takes continual work to do that, alongside continual work on the outside, you know, building your skills as a painter or whatever you want to do. Um, I guess you could view it as a two-way street to your success, your life's task, whatever. And again, the Robert Greene book, Mastery, who we're not sponsored by, by the way. What up, bro? It
Hey,
goes into
Robbie.
that a
Yeah,
lot.
coffee
Yeah.
later. Great.
Yeah, buy us a coffee, dude. Yeah, thanks for saying that, man. It's a really good reminder, and I think that is understated big time. It's always just fucking rise and grind, bro. It's like, okay, well, what if you
Yeah.
hate yourself?
Hustle
What if
culture.
you, yeah, it's, I don't
Hey,
know.
man, I'm a huge fan of hard work. I grew up in the Northeast. It's in my blood. As I was developing my coaching practice, I was working 50 hours a week as a Lyft driver. Coaching makes right now more than 10 times amount of Lyft. As I started developing my practice, I got to work less, and it was actually hard to work less. It was hard for me to not work 50 hours a week. The more I slowed down, the more the magic kept happening and the gifts kept piling up. And I had to relearn my whole attitude towards work itself.
Okay, I want to know more about that. When you slow down, more magic happen. What do you mean?
The other day, I was imagining what it would be like to have my client roster full and be developing deep value to all of my clients and the positive emotion that would make me feel. And I felt so happy. And um, somebody just walked up to me in the park and they were like, "Hey, how's it going?" Like, what do you do? Oh,
They
I'm a
just
life
walked
coach
up
and
to you?
meditation instructor. Well, their dog came up to me because
Okay.
dogs sense vibes. The
Yeah.
dog started, well, he basically wanted me to be his frisbee whore. So, so I had to do that for a while. This guy was like, well, like, could I get a session from you? I said, yeah, for sure. Let's meet Friday. So that was me sitting at the park in an Adirondack chair and cultivating my feeling of happiness and fulfillment from loving my job so much.
And you
This
think
guy
like,
walked up to me. Well, it seems a little uncanny, don't you think?
well, I was just gonna ask, like, let's say a year or two ago, would you not have done something like that? You would have just been like, oh, I'm gonna drive for Lyft a bit more. Like, you're trying to do more of that consciously, you're saying?
Yeah, because I have more time. And with time, I can slow down. And with slowing down, I can cultivate positive emotion. And that translates out. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Wow, I'm glad you said that, man. That's really huge. Yeah, I don't want to say, yeah, the grind mindset is toxic because I also like to work hard, but yeah, that's people don't say that enough. It's not just about hard work. It's not. Otherwise, any stupid idiot could become, you know, an amazing artist, which is just not true. It takes some other aspect. It takes genuinely getting in touch with your inner world and diving really deep, which requires being vulnerable, but it also requires suspending this, I guess, they call it the Protestant work ethic. I don't really know how real that is, but you know, I think it's a big thing in America where we're just like work, work, work. You have to think twice about that. I have that ingrained in me. I'm sure you do. And I think, yeah, it can be used for good. But especially if you want to be an artist, art is mystery. Mystery is inextricable from art. There's always an element of unknowableness to art, to create true creativity. And if you're not in touch with that, if you're not allowing space for that to be inside of you and to exude that, even, you might, I don't know, you probably won't do anything that much cooler than ChatGPT, you know. Uh, but in a, I don't know that in a deeper way, it's more so about yeah, just feeling good for yourself. And dude, it's so hard for me that I don't even like consciously value that. Like, of course I do, but I'm like, no, no, I would rather be successful from working hard than like feel happy, just in
Yes.
general, which is
Yes.
so fucked up. What the fuck, man? The other day, man, I went for a walk and I'm like, dude, stop thinking about work. Stop. You're out on a fucking walk. There are beautiful trees, beautiful buildings, all it's immaculate weather. Just be here and enjoy these things. Don't think about the other stuff that you're going to do later. It's not all that your life is, man. And that was really hard for me, dude. Like I couldn't believe I had to say that to myself. And here I was in this unquestionably beautiful walk, beautiful day. But it's real, dude. I think that is sort of the curse of American culture is yes, we have achieved unbelievable feats of science and sports and all these things, but also it's come at the cost of our mental health culturally. And it's totally manageable. I think it is manageable to be a hard ass fucking worker, go for your dreams and shit. But
Well, it's demoralizing if you're working 50 hours a week and not getting anywhere, you know? Obviously then something's not working
yeah, man. And
in there.
I'm there now too. Like I've been doing pretty well with the comedy stuff, but I'm at the point where I'm like, actually, I need to shift gears. I need to ratchet up to the next level. I need to start making new kinds of things that have bigger chances for success, eyeballs. I need to ratchet it up. Not, I need to work way more. I already work a lot, but I need to evolve
That's
my,
your energetic core, right?
yeah,
Got to
yeah,
brighten that energetic core,
yeah,
enhance the vision, see it more clearly.
yeah, and sort of take a bird's eye view of where I'm at and say, yeah, how can I redirect this energy? My energy, I think overall with work is pretty good. I do need to work on my self-love, as you'd say, I guess.
Yeah.
Um but yeah, that's another thing too with this mastery book. He talks about how so many great people, it's not that they were a genius, it's that they started doing something and they loved it. And if there was ever a hang up, if they got screwed over, if their business failed, they didn't say, "Oh, I'm fucked. I guess I'm just going to, be a ditch digger and that's my life." They said, "How can I look at this differently? What can I learn from this? What can I change in my path to make it work so that I can continue evolving in a way that feels true to me?" That's what they all did. That's his big thesis in this book, learning from these great people throughout history, is they had the intelligence to evolve when they needed to, because things will always fall in your way. There'll be assholes who try to screw you over. The people maybe even try to criticize you or like screw up your whole career. Um,
No,
who knows? But
famously, Steve Jobs got kicked out of Apple, out of his own company.
and what did he do? He started another company, and then eventually took the helm at Apple again.
Yeah, he started another company that became so essential to Apple that they had to buy it and bring him back on.
Hmm. He couldn't stop, is the point. He couldn't stop. He knew what his path was. And he said, all right, fuck you guys. I'm going to do, I started this fucking company. So, whatever. If you don't like me, I'm going to do my own thing. Um, shit, man. I feel like we covered most of what I wanted to say.
Yeah, any final thoughts?
Life is scary. Taking risks is scary. But I'll just be honest. One day you're going to die. This iteration of consciousness only happens once. And it is beautiful and noble to sacrifice at some level to provide security for your family, to provide for others. Sure. But it's also beautiful to be super honest with yourself and say, Can I live my life to the top of my intelligence, to the top of my abilities, so that I can continue to provide or eventually provide for my loved ones and do what I'm called to do in my life?
And start now.
Yeah.
Start small.
Yeah.
Just interrupt your nauseating schedule with something that brings you the breath of vitality. Um, can you listen to your dreams? Listen to the color of your dreams and see how they might be indicating a new reality that could be coming down the pipeline that you're creating through your desire of it, through your embodying the essential energy of it. Um, and stand your ground. Like, what do you really want in your life? And yeah, sure, you can make sacrifices and work hard towards that, but never lose the essential vision.
Last thing I'll say, this is big. Do not be afraid to ask for help. Don't do this whole thing alone. That's been one of my big hangups as well. Ask someone who you've never even talked to before. Hey, yeah, what do you do, man? Oh, do you like it? How did you get there? How did you start that business? That's awesome. Never know. Or if you're like me and you're afraid to ask for anyone to help because you think you should be able to do it all on your own and you don't want to be a burden, just suck it up and do it anyway. You never know. Literally yesterday, I was talking to my girlfriend about my writing stuff and where I want to go versus where I'm at. And she's like, "Oh, well, you just need to do this and this." And I'm like, "You're so right. Like that's so obvious. Why have I been in these like dumb patterns and not recognizing that?" And she's like, "Because you don't ever ask for help." And I'm like, "Yeah, you're right." She's like, "I'm right here, dude. Like you can talk to me anytime."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Yeah, I keep it all bottled up, and that slows me down." And so you have like that's the key, man. People are the key. Getting
Spark up a random conversation with your Lyft driver
yeah,
about movies and music.
exactly.
Ask him for help.
Maybe it'll both be Pisces. That's another huge part of the Robert Greene book is he really encourages people to find a mentor. Huge. Um, so yeah, go out and find people who are really good at what you think you might want to do. For me, I started taking improv classes in LA, and I was blown away at that community, man. Like you start taking classes at Upright Citizens Brigade, and yeah, you're still learning. You're a little zygote in the improv world, but all of a sudden, you're in this world of experts. You're in this world of people who are masters at this thing, and they can teach you, but they rub off on you. Their skills, their confidence, their energy rubs off on you. And so they're helping you by teaching you, but you're also throwing yourself into that world, that realm. You're being out there. You're putting yourself out there. You're around other people who are going to stimulate you and challenge you. So I think going at it all alone, maybe to start, maybe you kind of have to take a few weeks to kind of refresh your mind, kind of figure out what you want to do, how you want to change things. Okay, sure. But eventually step out. It's like, hey, girlfriend, boyfriend, yo,
Hey, girlfriend.
I'm thinking about changing some shit up around this place. Oh, okay. How? Yeah, I'm gonna quit my job and be a full-time sous chef. Oh, I don't know about that. Sorry. I'm gonna stop fucking ranting and get off my fucking soapbox and just say, please be brave. We want your gifts. We're greedy. We want your stuff in the world. We want to hear your voice. It's really real. It's really true. So please, whatever it is, try to muster the courage and take risks and get out there.
Be courageous. Come from your energetic core. Dream big. Watch your dreams become reality. Stand your ground and know that life's going to be challenging. Sometimes you hold the vision. And Ludo, I'll see you in Paris. Thank you for listening to this week's episode of the Asclepion. We hope you enjoyed the show and that you feel uplifted, empowered.
Yeah, just make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on X and all that shit, all right?
Farewell, friends.